To be honest, I have a confession to make to all of you. I am not the husband of Koneko Tojo.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Well, at least I wasn't. Now I absolutely am with the information I have today, but back then I really wasn't. Because to be perfectly honest with you, Koneko is a way of life. She is a character that I definitely enjoy, a character that obviously is the waifu of everything, and to be honest, is a character I just genuinely do like as a whole. And when it comes down to it, I didn't necessarily know too much about Koneko like I should have thought. The video of me talking about no one knows Koneko like I do was more of a romance type of thing. It was more of a thing where I just really fondly liked the character. That being said, I've always was curious, what is her past? What is the other things about her in the volumes of the books that tells the story of DxD that I don't know? What other events and crazy moments that she been put into that would be honestly very interesting to learn? And until today, I didn't know anything about what she has been through. And really, the story for a lot of it doesn't really go into too much of what she ends up doing, or at least a big chunk of it is not really dedicated to her, but there is very big moments where she does shine and does get some moments to do a bunch of other stuff as well. I don't remember everything, but I'm gonna remember and tell you the key points of things of why she is the way she is, and the past, and certain other things that just really interesting to know. And one complaint I had about the character and just DxD as a whole that honestly gets resolved in the damn book when it comes down to it. And I maybe have also decided to do this video because I saw a video of a couple of people doing a DxD bachelorette, and honestly I thought it was hella funny. Honestly, like, it made me really think about Koneko in a different light. Honestly, maybe I should give her something extra in this story to do, because I was currently kind of thinking about it a little bit, but we'll see how that kind of goes. First of all, let's actually break down something that's pretty damn important. High School DxD, High School DxD Shin, High School DxD EX. What the hell are these series? They are just different branching paths, right? Plenty of people will tell you that High School DxD is the main canon of the story, which it is. And then everything branches off from there, which you got Shin High School DxD, which is the continuation, I believe, of what happened previously in the original DxD. Which, to be honest, you can kind of say that DxD itself is its own timeline that can branch out to multiple different things if it really wanted to. Which, hell, if you really want to say there's an infinite amount of universes, the story that I do tell on this channel kind of could be considered to be one of those damn things. A Wild End story that's obviously fan-made, but 100% it could be a damn story. Also, when it comes to EX, what is that? That is the story of where Born goes after. Basically, when High School DxD Born was a thing, you gotta remember, that was not how DxD was supposed to carry on. They made a mistake on the series at that point, and they decided to just turn that into an actual timeline story of itself. So technically, it's kind of canon. The only difference is, it's not going into the immediate effects of what happens next after DxD. It's more like a future story where you do have in 30 years time where Issei's kids come through and start, you know, talking about certain things and doing certain plot points, and when you get to learn that, you know, the different girls had kids with the man, which is some things I want to just burn him for. But when it comes down to it though, that's what that storyline is. And while it's not necessarily a super big main focus, it is technically a canon story in the future of that timeline. So there you go with that. But when it comes down to it, we're going to mainly just focus on DxD Shin because that's the main continuity of everything. Now, to fully understand Koneko Tojo as the woman that she is, we gotta understand how she walks, how she thinks, how she breathes. We gotta understand her as a whole to the cellular level. To be honest, there's information I even forgot. Like, I forgot her name was Shirone, actually. Like, her name is not actually Koneko, it's Shirone, which I completely forgot that that was her name. And in fact, in the future parts of the damn story, she actually changed her name from Koneko to Shirone Tojo. So she kind of just abandoned that name that Rias gave her. And honestly, I kind of forgot why Rias gave her the name, or who gave her the damn name of Koneko. So that's also another damn thing when it comes down to it. The only thing that was real to her name was Tojo, and that's essentially, you know, really what I can pull from the Wikipedia page. Now, obviously, I did a video talking about kuderes and talk about how they're the most cold-hearted people and they don't necessarily be wasting anybody's time, being hella direct, and just basically just being soft when they're really with the person that they want to be with. And Koneko is the same way, but most of the time with Kudere characters, there is no reason for why they're like that. They're just like that just to be like that. And if there is a reason, it's not really a good one. Koneko has a fat ass reason as to why she is the way she is, which comes down to her past. Now, if you remember in high school DxD class, there was a moment in time where Kuroka and technically Koneko met up I think a little bit earlier than they were supposed to. But when it comes down to it, they end up meeting up and Kuroka ended up giving the lesson about the past, about why Koneko's in the position that she's in. Basically, Kuroka ends up, killing the master of who was over them, and then ends up running away, which led Koneko to being fended for herself, essentially. And that's how she got into Rias's care and all that sort of stuff. But if you just listen to that shit, she's omitting so much shit that ended up happening. For starters, when it comes down to it, Koneko and Kuroka is from a rare breed of Nekomata. The thing is, they weren't necessarily just, picked up by some random owner. They were actually born from a family, a father and a mother. A father that was a researcher, and a mother that was the Nekomata. Now, this is where shit get absolutely insane for me, because I did not know this shit at all. In the Wikipedia page, they end up telling you about something about super devils, which I was like, the hell is that? Which you end up finding out that Kuroka and Koneko were both experimented on with the damn father, the researcher, doing wild and shit, trying to figure things out, making super devils. What in the absolute hell, right? So that's number one. And when it comes down to it, the reason why they're abandoned from their family is not because, they didn't want them. Granted, Koneko's father didn't necessarily even consider her to be existing, much less didn't even know and care. So that's another thing that kind of happened. But the thing is, there was an accident that ended up happening in the facility, which took the mother and the father's life, which led Kuroka to care for her little sister, a bit longer and try to figure things out. That's when essentially they got picked up by this other devil dude that was very popular, very well known, and very well respected, I guess, and basically was taken into their care, and things seemed to be on the up and up until Kuroka unleashed her power on accident, which accidentally killed her master, and therefore their only person that was taking care of them. And the reason why she ended up leaving Koneko is mainly because they were going to hunt down Kuroka because of the whole thing. Even though it was an accident, they were going to hunt her down, which is why they was going to execute Koneko, because they didn't want any other accident like that happening with the Nekomata powers and shit. So, all for it, before my girl even had a chance, they were just gonna yeet her off into the void of death, honestly. But luckily, one of Rias's family members came in, saved her ass, and basically gave her to Rias, and that's why we have the Koneko we have today. Rias gave her the name Koneko, and that's essentially what the books have written. It's crazy, right? And then that explains why she's so damn angry, or at least when it comes down to, in the earlier chapters and story, why she's so damn cold, why she's so damn strong and wanting to be stronger in Born and stuff, why she's so not necessarily effing with emotions and things until later, because she been through a lot of shit. And the fact, even more so again, that she wasn't even considered really worth anything to her father, because her father didn't even care about her, much less care that she existed or knew that she existed. That's a horrible ass thing. And you want to know about an extra kicker that has been in the damn series for the longest time when you look at the character day one, is that if you look at her hair clips, those are not regular hair clips. Those nice cute hair clips are actually research data ass having things. They have research data on them about the super devils, and probably the whole research of what was going on with Kuroka and Koneko back then. So does this mean that Koneko is a research baby? No, that's not necessarily, because at the end of the day, they did have a mom and dad. Even if they were shitty, they did have one. So technically no, but considering the fact that they were used for research and things of the sort until they died, yeah, it wouldn't be too surprising or too out of pocket to say that Koneko is a lab baby, to be honest. It would not necessarily be too surprising along with Kuroka. For the whole time, for all these years, I'm thinking that these damn hair clips that she has is just cute as hell for her aesthetic. No, these are actual just dead ass research material data. which is some wild and shit. Now, obviously, when it comes down to the future of things, Koneko does end up knowing some things about the research stuff, but at the very end of it, she doesn't necessarily focus it too much because she doesn't want to care about the past no more and want to focus more on the future of what she's doing and is happy in the future, which is like an odd moment because, yeah, that's kind of cool. But also at the same time, that's really hella unforgivable for what their parents try to do to her. So, yeah. That was some absolute nonsense. But at least it's not affecting Koneko in the worst possible way, because something like that could mentally scar her in a bad way, and to be perfectly honest, it would make a whole bunch of sense if it did, honestly. So, strong waifu for the win. Essentially, you have Koneko also learning how to get 3 cattails, which allows her to turn into her adult, more mature form, where she has bigger bust and an older and taller form looking like Hiroka but white haired, and it's a nice ass time. Then also the fact that there is information that she can use the power of purification with her, I think, Toki abilities, which is what she used in the anime with her being covered in white flames all the time, which I didn't know that was like a thing, or that what it was. So I guess I have to look into the story for some added reason to give her purification, which honestly, if you paid attention to the story, there's actually been a moment already where she has it. You just haven't realized it yet and haven't really put it into the story, so that's a hint of a spoiler right there, but you'll figure it out in the next episode. But when it comes down to it though, yeah, there is that, and then also there's a fact that she fought a damn water dragon and won. Huh? And that right there, when I read that and they said that she fought a water dragon and beat its ass, that right there solved any problem I had about Koneko. Because when it comes down to it though, you want to know the main complaint I have about DxD is that you have all these fine female characters, strong as hell, can do things on their own, but they can't handle any type of demon threat that comes down their way because Issa has to be the one to save the day. Not this time, apparently, or at least from what the Wikipedia said, not this time, because when it comes down to it, Koneko fought a water dragon and effing won. That says all what I need right there. I was worried that they were not going to let Koneko have a moment to shine, to have her beat a battle on her own that she can obviously win, or should be able to win, and this took care of that issue for me. So now, Koneko is a well-written character, or at least from what I read on the damn Wikipedia. There's a lot of other information that is in this damn Wikipedia that you might want to read, like her finally reconciling and finally getting over her whole thing with Hiroka back in the past, and they actually duke it out a little bit, and she won, and actually is a bit stronger, or not, or just like equally strong to Hiroka as well. Don't get me wrong, the women of DxD is absolutely fine and they all are definitely worth it, but now learning this information, learning what I've known about Koneko now with this Wikipedia page, I'm not gonna hold you, now I have even more of a reason to love this character, because she's honestly someone that's been through some nonsense, continue to go through some nonsense, push herself to the limit, and still, regardless of everything, has become one of my all-time favorite characters of DxD. If there's ever any doubt, now for sure she's the favorite. And now with this information, now I can really call myself the husband of Koneko, because now I understand shit. I understand why she's cold-hearted and why she sometimes can be aggressive as hell and all that sort of stuff with her, you know, showing her emotions toward the person that she likes, even if it's Issei in this damn universe. Now kick his ass into the damn void, but still nonetheless, I understand it now. And now with all that information, you understand it too. That's essentially all I really have for this one, so hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky, and if you do like to donate to the channel, Cash App and Kofi is available as well. And until then, it's Boy J, signing off. Have a blessed day.